Hey, just wanted to say real quick, thank you for clicking on my video. It really means a lot. I might have my fair share of complaints about this game, but ultimately I really like it. I had a great time making the video, and I hope you all enjoy. Thanks again, and have a wonderful day. So, this game is a Souls-like. It says so on Steam. See? Alright, so Neeron is a game about a bear, like protecting nature and stuff. It's cool. It was also made by 3 college students as a project, and that's really cool. Let's start with the combat. Yes, it is labeled as a Souls-like on Steam, so I know that's canon, but the RPG elements of this game are a little lackluster. There's no class system or anything like that. Leveling up only gives you new abilities and perks and raises your base stats. And you will reach the max level by the time you reach the final boss, and you will have all the abilities and perks unlocked. Okay, with that out of the way, let's get into the actual combat. At first I couldn't tell if it was just kind of janky, which it definitely is, or if I was just really bad at it. But you see, it wasn't until I got a little older when I realized I wasn't just trash at some video games. Some video games are just poorly made, and sometimes I still have a hard time distinguishing between the two. Now don't get me wrong, I wouldn't say this game is poorly made. As a student project made by 3 people, it's fucking epic, and a little student project stank ain't bad sometimes. Okay, I'll actually talk about the combat now. After I figured the combat out, I ended up really enjoying myself. Alright, so you have 3 color-coded elemental weapons that you'll upgrade as you gain levels. The enemies you encounter will have the same 3 colors above their health bars, and the color that is the smallest indicates which weapon you'll want to be using against that enemy. There will be enemies that the colors above their health bar will be the same size. In those situations, you'll want to use one weapon until the color that corresponds to that weapon is filled above the enemy's health bar. At that point, you'll get a small prompt to switch to a different weapon to deal more damage. This system is kinda like a posture system, like a light posture system. Kind of. You can also use 3 special abilities, one for each elemental weapon. In order to use these abilities and have the effects of your weapons active, you will need to fill up each color in the lower left-hand side of your screen. To fill these up, you'll smash these color-coded jars. It takes 2 jars of the same color to fill a circle. Now, I didn't find myself using the special abilities all that often, but they are a nice touch and they do look cool. Now, dodging. It doesn't feel great in this game. Maybe I just didn't get the timing down, but it really does feel off. When you successfully execute a perfect dodge, the game gives you a moment of like slow motion. It's weird. Also, you can't dodge under the bosses, and it's a bummer. Super bummer. Oh, I actually dodged it! Oh, nice! I don't know how I dodged it though. That was pure luck. Oh, you can't like go under its legs. Okay. Ultimately, the dodge does work and it isn't game breaking. A more minor complaint towards the combat is the lock-on system, or lack thereof. I mean, at first I couldn't even tell if there was a lock-on system. I'm pretty sure it just kind of auto-locks on when you're near enemies, and like I said, it's kind of a bummer. Like a bummer. But once again, this system isn't game breaking and you'll get used to it pretty quickly. As far as enemy types, don't expect much of a variety at all. For the most part, you'll be fighting the same robots, they'll just have different colors and somewhat different moves. The bosses are the same. You'll fight 4 of these big guys, 1 for each color and a neutral one. The neutral one is an optional boss. Oh god! No. The bosses don't play any different from each other than being weaker to whatever color is their opposite. The final boss though, and I guess this would be the biggest spoiler if you're worried about that sort of thing, so I don't know, play the game and then come back. Okay, so the final boss is actually super rad. Maybe it's just in comparison to the rest of the enemies, but this one actually felt difficult in a good way. It has cool moves, it's actually fast enough to chase you down, and it does a bunch of damage. It was really the only enemy of the game I felt I needed to focus on a little bit. And that's not a jab at the devs or anything. This one enemy really shows me the potential these devs have at creating a fun and engaging enemy encounter. Plus, I really like its design. I think it's super cool looking. Okay, let's talk about the rest of what Neeron has to offer. So this game looks pretty good. The character design of your bear is totally badass, and like I said, I really like how the final boss looks. The environments look pretty rad, but as far as interacting with the environments, well, let's just say it leaves a lot to be desired. Will I even be able to get out? I'm underwater. I'm swimming right now. Yikes. Now, as good as this game looks, I don't think it warrants the amount of time it asks you to just jog between boss to boss with the occasional enemy encounter. And at the end of the game, you are required to run all the way back to the very beginning of the game to fight the final boss. Okay, so there is a day and night cycle. I'm really not sure why. When it's nighttime, it's way too dark and certain things just don't look right. Again, I don't know why it's there and it doesn't add anything aside from a bit of annoyance to traveling at night. Neeron at nighttime. There's another system at play that I didn't really understand or really try to understand. When you get to a save point, you are able to invoke one of these 3 elemental buffs. If I'm being honest, I think I used this evoke system like twice just to see what happened. I wasn't a huge fan of how the game wants you to progress. You have to choose one of these 3 quests, run to a specific area, interact with a specific object, and then fight the boss. So this wouldn't be that bad if the game told you that you needed to select the quest or your victory against that area's boss will be nothing. It will mean nothing. Be meaningless. And you'll have to fight it all over again. Probably just an oversight, but I did find myself having to fight 2 bosses over again because I forgot to select the damn quest. Which is ultimately my fault, especially after I figured out the quest thing, but still, it was a bummer. Ah! Let's go! Woohoo! Find and beat the leader robot. I think I did that. My biggest complaint, and honestly you should really take all these complaints with a grain of salt. This is a student project made by 3 people that really does feel like a pretty good proof of concept for an action RPG. And I played through it 3 times, so whatever minor inconveniences I experienced, I probably noticed them a bit more because I played through it 3 times in a row. Like, in a row. I wanted this review to be thorough, damn it. Anyway, back to my biggest complaint. The invisible walls. You encounter them in weird places, or you'll find yourself trapped in an area because there wasn't an invisible wall keeping you from jumping into a pit of lava that doesn't damage you at all, and all the walls are too high for your bare knees to jump. Sorry, I got triggered. I was traumatized, okay? Oh! Oh no! Oh no! Oh, I can walk on the lava, I guess. Am I stuck in here forever? Doesn't seem good. Feel stuck. Oh no. Now, does Neeron have a story, you ask? I don't even think it has lore. Aside from the trailer, we really don't have much to go off. So yeah, you're a bear with 3 badass weapons fending off robot invaders. Cool enough for me. Look, the game had me at a bear with a sword. Although I do have my complaints, I still recommend Neeron Blade of Nature. If you like checking out student projects or playing Souls-like games, or if you just want to check out a game with a cool concept and a fucking badass character, I mean, you're a bear with a sword, come on. It's free, you can beat it in an hour or less, it really is doing some cool things with this elemental battle system, and as far as a free Souls-like, you could do a lot worse. Also, if this video gets you to check out Neeron, make sure to leave the devs some love in the Steam comments and let them know to keep at it. Oh, also, I noticed there was no art on the Neeron Steam page, so I drew this. I'm an amateur artist. I started drawing about 2 years ago, so go easy on me, okay? And if you like this part of the video, maybe think about checking out my art Instagram. I'll have it linked below. I'll use this section to say thank you again for clicking on my video, and if you actually watched to this point, you are a real one, and I appreciate you more than you know. Anyway, thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed, maybe check out some of my other videos and think about subscribing. Alrighty, have a wonderful day.